bra Adjetey Anang edit the book about bonte na some beka and nano book no and same by I never catch him say Adjetey Anang I hint to the book and say or chiti or na so enra ye bra ko interview or GTV e ma GTV for say Adjetey Anang say ni chiti na nya physical na Ghana for say spiritual dey bi ho and the Adjetey cheche mu che ye book ni bi wa ha nti e be comparative ni mu sem no aha gossips 24 message we need so be me subscribe button so now wa click the bell notification icon so now Facebook me follow your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, maybe gossips24.com and gossips24 TV. Now first one make us a winner gated community for a real estate for we see affordable homes at Ghana for regardless of working class, so we Ghana, so we Brochi, so we low level salary earner, so we high or medium no matter our level win and for our payment plan at the about 10 years about the trade for numbers no was screen so na free and that's what's happy or no beje also office. Now remember back to Yebra Adjetey Anang book. Now before I ever got cheating side no, I was walking you through the entire book. It's may 1 minute 30 seconds of your time. Na me a summary of the whole book. It's a book you know title no Adjetey Anang, a story of faith, imperfection and resilience. Adjetey Anang shas here emra won what tema or movie called or school or PM or high school or laboni hono or tall gang do much gang no and come influencing it badly it will become and try a cigarette be man bo white basically cigarette den ninja ho e ho so nya broken heart kakra e wom e ma edu baby kran ko ya akoko e wo oba ho as oba na nipa na ne kwa akoko na nipa ne fi say oje oba na efinisem emu ho no kire mu se ne ni sije acting ho obey stage play things we do for love. Now things we do for love account no I know I hand it over to the likes of Majid Michelle, Ivan Kwashiga, no matter the who or no Adjetey Anang role of player or things we do for lava. Later, we move if radio, Ediba TV, so as a Ghana for in any budget, we send a Ghana for see persevere or things we do for love fire, but and yes, I not here, but things we do for love corner a hot and we share any year alum, I can say or worry alum in the year 2007 on the 10th of March, where ICGC Christ Temple and or worry alum. Now we do a so I know hand you over storytelling no to the area elom and area elom so ebe chire mu say na oyosuro so be lose Adjetey Anang they are trying the best so be keep any awo mu nsem onya miscarriage so for share about 2 years after and some more coming on ba eye Ryan I just say mu ho na Adjetey Anang ko kasa about in the trials and nyoma ya testing wo ho onya ambassadorial deal be say ko be advertise the ama alcoholic beverage being so rejected because of the personal values those that time no you broke political party be so by so endorse your more need and or rejected because of the personal values any senior base amount for base who ne siafa into no normally or ye bibiana or consider so your role model to say no base carrying no important or justifying the achievements and the honors any other day and they no hand over and the man and so mo be di ne ho dance here e bi mo to say Jackie Apia e bi mo to say Yvonne Nelson sure Yvonne Nelson di ne ho dance here or kasa about the foundation and a whole lot. So this book for obia open inspiration open motivation open say who senior be a test bi ba wa kwemu obetumi agina and normal be stand for because they say if you don't stand for something you fall for anything. It's that's what basically Adjetey Anang book is about. Now comparing Adjetey Anang book to Yvonne Nelson book no utumu say Yvonne Nelson is very bold and brave say ono the kind of plain but Adjetey Anang no of massage nyoma what I say because I think that this book is to create a good brand for ono Adjetey Anang. Not to say Yvonne Nelson is to create a bad brand, but it tells you the differences between the authors of the book. Say Yvonne Nelson or you open what I say obie nyoma ni so say A or can say A they also more hint no more hint but Adjetey Anang even the political party no or my hint the beverage or my hint be but one chapter somebody have a better topic for discussion social media so based on the interview or GTV no chapter 9 now chapter 9 no na ye bra Adjetey Anang kasa about the marital challenges and the imperfection and Adjetey Anang ebe bie no me say yes o cheating one year so now that is on page 150. No, say yes, I have cheated on my wife before in various forms. That cheating could be defined as both emotionally and physically. It's Ghana for a brain. I surprised. GTV for me post video. No matter what say, I didn't physically cheat on my wife. Adjetey Anang and a kaye and they will say a call. Ni ko tiensem no. Na ye sign ba e de be compare book. It is tiensem Adjetey Anang ekan.
In the book that they were mistakes made.
Yeah.
That you made when you stepped out on your marriage.
Yeah, I mean, it started. I think that for a greater part, and the experience was hard, hitting when early years of marriage, and
so the cheating did not happen during the relationship stage because you were together 7 years before you married.
Yeah.
So it happened after you were married.
Yeah, and this was and when I say cheating, I think that for the most part people think that when it's cheating, then we conclude that then it's
sleeping with
sexual affairs. No. I mean, even the good book tells us that even when a woman walks by and you think of them lustfully in your mind, you have sinned, and that's cheating. And so there's emotional, there's mental, and the physical as well.
You said emotional and physical.
Yes,
so
I did say that.
Explain that.
So in my bit to explain that covers a whole spectrum of I hug you, for example. And my mind is like, I'm thinking lustfully about you. That's cheating. You can't limit it to, because otherwise then we get away with so many things. And then what the good book tells us, how do we justify that? By just thinking lustfully, I've not touched there, or they said I've sinned. How have I sinned? But that's what the good book tells us. And so we translate that to even touching when my mind is impure. I have cheated because I have a partner, and that thought should run through me only with my partner. Then
so you didn't sleep with anybody?
No. I'm not going to say that. I slept with anybody. In my thought processing, that is where the cheating happens, and it's tough for me to even put it into words, because the way it was written in the book is how I wanted to leave it at. Because the moment you try to explain these things, then okay, the media takes it off, and then they twist their own headlines, and then it becomes something else.
That's why we would put the words against what you're saying, because you say, and I'm reading a portion of the book that is everywhere. People are sharing that particular screenshot, and you say that you were naive from the start about subtle amorous hints, and perhaps made a lot of assumptions about people's motives till it was too late. And you also admit that you got bolder and more daring and adventurous, and sometimes initiated flirtatious conversations and led many on. And you've been in very compromising situations with ladies. And some started as admiration and fun, and after frequent chats developed into flirting and occasionally went too far. So when I am reading these things, if you're leaving it to my imagination to say, how far did Adjetey go with Lady A or Lady B? Then that's a murky space. So you have to set some boundaries for it.
I mean, it's a murky space, but, for me, intentionally, I left it at that, because the moment you expand that, it will lose focus of why this book was set out in the first place. And the notion that our habit not a habit, I think there's a culture of glorifying negativity.
Now when you say Ghana has they say you cheating. Cheating no basically na na say we ase mumpo you cheating basically no, and you say bia wafa oyirechi. What they say wafa oyirechi and you obi akwa akwahye ho ne ade. And no na ye we ase enye ye Ghana from kwa. We ase mo be bia wo kase cheating na. Sana obi ati asefa. It is Adjetey Anang this explanation about say enye physically nkwa, emotionally, or the Bible who church eba beton. Now she say ama adwena e bebre kakra say dey. E dey empower na ye ba Adjetey Anang person oka no. But again, Kaisa Magraheb said the book no to create a good brand and be a role model unto others. It's Adjetey Anang no, I am very careful with the choice of words. However, no, so tell someone what interview no, the impression of person creating say maybe no sexual intercourse, and the any engine how. What does it? Into a car and maybe okay. Say be a cheating, no, and yes, say be a too physical, say be a off film and no mean your man as it be. Now, okay, book in this one. It created two different contrasts. See, now in chapter 9, no, I'll talk about marital challenges and imperfection. The opening paragraph, no, and I said the opening way, no, I on page 112, no, book in the able to be attested to the fact say that one is just about Sabia or my childbed, say no musi bray and son of munya, a bar near the challenges a bar and near who's and no introducing that particular chapter. That introduction had nothing to do with cheating. But the interesting part, no, in the second paragraph, and it's a near supporting no. And Rebecca will say, when she got pregnant, we had one of the biggest challenges we have ever had. One that could have split us up forever. But with the help of counselors and our resolve to fix the problem, somehow God took us through and taught us unforgettable lessons. Whatever the problem was, Adjetey Anang did not state. But what I say, Emra elong fire fununo, eho, and na say, sa problem ni by and sa many dear in Kawaiian ye guanes. But one my hint as to what it was. In my head, Adjetey Anang. Well, try so best solving your mass. The book you win now, try so best solving your mass. So, the sentence in the interview is not surprising. But listen to this. I say, being a war-exposed actor, this on page 114. I say, being a war-exposed actor comes with fame and notable achievement. But if you add to that being good-looking, you will encounter many women who may find you attractive and disregard your marital status or personal values. Disregard your marital status or personal values. What will make a woman disregard your marital status and personal? Is it emotional, spiritual? It's definitely physical. But unfortunately, this lures quite a number of male actors into traps, and I must say, I made many terrible choices. In the traps, no. And also, some traps no are aware of say a million male actors into no. And also making terrible choices are a lure into those traps. But my country say Adjetey Anang coded. Unlike if one else will be in your mind, Adjetey Anang baby in your mind. But then again, everything is obvious. See, also I say, those tough experiences taught me to be very circumspect in my dealings with fame and popularity, because they can easily ruin my character or destroy the things that matter most to me. I resolved to set boundaries to ensure things did not get out of hand ever again. That means things have gotten out of hand before. But Adjetey Anang in the GTV interview stated again, said, oh, emotionally no, anyway no, cheating no, and in the way sexual intercourse, sexual intercourse in there, into many argue. But cheating no precise or dressing this time around again. I mean just here. Ever again, no. Like you say, things got out of hand before. Trap are informing the decision making afterwards. So that means that something went wrong before. Now, I am naturally inclusive and open, and in the past was a little careless with fans. And with a natural inclination towards female, as might be the case of for most men. Many ladies who did not care about boundaries crossed the line, not without my consent. Almost cross the line, almost cross the emotional line. Text line. Hello. Picture line. Not without my consent. Line by no cross here. I mean, also sometimes I got carried away and enjoyed the attention and didn't handle these situations well. Just as he stated earlier. You could say I was naive from the start about subtle amorous hints and perhaps made a lot of assumptions about people's motive till it was too late. What I say? In teacher say, or say to be own, or say ebiana or dream kwalage kakra say dia or there ipewo any other no. It's now on consider amount for ulterior motives. No funny so we there normal. Until say be too late. Obi one say trade na pro. And as soon I got bolder, more daring and adventurous, and sometimes I initiated flirtatious conversations and led many on. It's afraid here. No about be bold. So get we cross hand up here. Now afraid you no kwampo no initiate conversations no. Onu kwampo no on flirting. Ohuni earlier later obebe hu no na afempo de oh. Onu kwampo na say what does it? And also I have been in very compromising situations with ladies. Some started as admiration and fun, and frequent chat developed into flirting and occasionally went too far. Flirting could be emotional because they are texts. Or they say they are emotional cheating. Physical. But went too far near them. Bruh. I mean, I don't understand. Went too far near there. Because some account with GTV in the old booking money there. I saw a person would dress in a changing a bit. What it here? And yes, people. I say yes. I have cheated on my wife before in various forms that cheating could be defined as both emotionally and physically. What do we term as physically? Cheating on your wife. Press. Me actually will be hard or public, which no ulterior motive. What I say? Kiss. Press. It's physically in the deal. And it's a what call. Step further than what or the kind of way our person be our creative or GTV. No, for that one day, wrapping it. What's it? To every lady I have been on that path with, I would like to apologize unreservedly for such inappropriate behavior. I have struggled to forgive myself, and these experiences have been the lowest point in our marriage and nearly tore us apart. And even this part in the crown, nearing acknowledge in chapter 10. In chapter 10, they say, yes, we have been tested. We've had our share of terrible times too. No doubt, it has not all been rosy and easy or fun. The challenges have cropped up and dark times did come. I have personally been completely shaken by the many battles we've had to fight. It's nearly confirming, as someone show say, a test your marriage. These situations are test your marriage. And in chapter 10, you really kasa same way. Answer no kasa about omoba, saying your move fast. So this test had nothing to do with childbirth. What is it? But this test had had everything to do with the kind of cheating that Adjetey Anang was. But then again, Brapeni or GTV. Of course, maybe GTV for now I get the caption wrong, but so we see in some now. Trying to paint a picture, say, oh, cheating in the and you say you are share corner be ko ye shukushuku. You for canally way, or the Bible quotation. They be. And therefore, to understand this more and know the kind of author Adjetey Anang is, grab a copy of this particular book. And Adjetey Anang, A Story of Faith, Imperfection, and Resilience. I've had a good read with the book, but looking at the interview, and there's some other book in the money there. Any interview in the interview sought to create a different picture, but the book makes you understand, say, indeed, he cheated. As to whether it was a sexual intercourse or whatever, I was not there. Na minjina hobi or brand or so that I can't challenge him on that. But if you read the message and what he's trying to say in the video, it's contradictory. Aha Gossips 24. Message so be me a subscribe button so. Now I click the bell notification icon so. Now Facebook to me following on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Maybe I gossips24.com. Any gossips 24 TV. Magraheb.